What's up guys, War History Geek here, and welcome back to another video. Today's going to be something different from what we usually do. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Denix MG-34 replica machine gun. Now just to be clear again, I said that this is a replica. Denix is probably one of the world's leading replica firearm companies. They make stuff all the way from the 1600s up to, I believe it's like the 1980s. And this isn't sponsored. I'm just saying I've bought a couple of firearms from them before, this being my most recent one. So I will say that they do have generally high quality replicas compared to anywhere else on the market where you might be able to get something. Now, when this MG-34 came to the market, or at least it was revealed that they were going to be releasing it on the market, I was very excited to get my hands on one. For those of you that have looked for replica MG-34s in the past, a lot of, I guess this goes for the MG-34 and the MG-42, there just have not been a lot of relatively affordable replicas on the market. Now, this particular replica here goes for anywhere from just over $300 to $400. I paid $309 at Replica Guns Direct. That's where I go for all of my replica firearms. Now, we did face a little bit of shipping delays. That isn't their fault, though. There was a recall on some of these due to a manufacturing error. And then just shipping overseas, of course, always takes a little bit of time. So I definitely don't blame them, and I definitely want to thank Ken over there at Replica Guns Direct for staying in contact with me over those couple of months that it was delayed. But anyway, so these MG-34 replicas, like I said, go for around $300 to $400. Depending on where you buy it from, which is worlds more affordable than what these were in the past. You'll see the airsoft replicas that go for, you know, $1,000. Then you have the Bipod, which is blank firing only non-gun replicas, which in some cases use a lot of real machine gun parts that can only fire blanks, and those will in some cases go anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. And then it goes beyond that when you start going for original disarmed examples or live examples, of course. So for $300, even though that sounds like a lot for essentially just a display piece, that is a great deal in comparison to what it used to be. Now, I won't lie that this gun does have a number of flaws, which exist for a number of reasons. A lot of them are to keep manufacturing simple, to keep the price down, and of course to follow European laws, because since the company's based out of Spain, they have to follow the laws there dictated to replica firearms. Especially since this is going to be sold on a relatively world-scale market, you have to keep that as strict as possible. So there is a number of issues with this replica. However, there are a number of modifications. Now, this review is just going to be showing exactly what you get when you order it. I haven't done any modifications to mine yet. I'm going to do a little more research into that, see what I can figure out. But over here, let's just start with this. So as you can see, it's a rather large model. If I remember correctly, it's about 48 inches long. It's a 1-to-1 scale replica. Now, it doesn't weigh the same as an original. Originals weigh about 26 pounds without ammunition, just as you see it here. However, this one only weighs about, I believe it's 15.3 pounds, according to the Replica Guns Direct website. So it weighs a considerable amount less than a real one would. However, you know, it's because of the alloy metal that they use to produce it. And again, it also saves on shipping and all that to make it lighter. So I don't blame them for that. You can't have it perfect with a replica. But for being 15 pounds, it definitely still feels like you're holding a real machine gun. It definitely has that heavy metal weight to it that you're looking for in a replica, whether it's for reenacting, display, or just general photography and all that. So in terms of some bonuses when it comes to this, you do have functioning sights up here. You have the front sight, which does flip up like on the original. You do have the functioning rear sight. You do have a functioning trigger and bolt, which I can do right here. So as you can see there, It's a simple catch mechanism. You pull it back, it gets caught, pull the trigger, it releases forward. It's not like the original where you pull it back and then push it forward to engage the bolt there. Again, it's another thing where just because of the simplicity of the mechanism inside the replica, they didn't want to go much beyond that. Again, I haven't opened it up fully to see if that could be something that you could modify. I know there's a lot of channels out there working on full modifications, and I'm sure somebody has already figured it out. So I'm going to look into that as well to see if I can do that on my example. And then the last really nice bonus of this replica here is that it has a functioning bipod, which I can show you here. And as you can see, it does have the bipod catch right there on the bottom of the barrel shroud. So again, that's a nice addition there. And overall, despite the inaccuracies, it does have all of the necessities, except for one major one, in terms of a functional display machine gun. And that, unfortunately, the top cover does not open. It's one molded piece, and I can actually lift up the camera here to show you. It's one solid molded piece here. The catch, which would usually be right here, doesn't move. It can't open, which is a shame in my opinion. It could have been a lot cooler if it could open and you could put replica or disarmed rounds inside here for display. And you actually can remove this if you really want to. This is just a simple pin. You can knock that out and you can lift the whole cover off. But unfortunately, in the state that you get it, you cannot open the cover the way that it was on the original. So that does take some modification. I have seen some channels which buy original catches, cut the end off here on the replica, and have a functioning catch. Again, I haven't done that on mine yet, but that is an option open to you. So going back to the sights here, you have the rear sight, and this is just going to be the standard sight form, and you have the front sight here. Now the front sight, it's fully accurate. That's exactly how it would have been on the original. Coming down here, unfortunately this rear sight here, this is non-functional. The buttons don't work here like on the original sights. You do have one machine screw back here, which holds that whole mechanism together. So you can actually remove that machine screw, and in the state that it's in currently, when you get it fresh out of the box, you can loosen that and retighten it wherever you want to for a specific display. The other thing is too, on the rear sight here, you have this rear flip-up anti-aircraft sight for when you have the additional anti-aircraft ring here, and I'll get to this in a second. And that is also held in by the screw. You cannot flip it up, unfortunately, but if you remove that screw, you actually can flip it up, which is a nice addition. And I've also seen on other replicas, they modify it by punching through here and putting a little piece of metal there so that you can flip it up. And again, that's an easy fix there. On here, unfortunately, this is not able to attach an original sight to it in this state. You would have to replace the rod here and maybe even replace the entire piece. Again, it's another thing for simplicity reasons. They chose not to mold it exactly like the original on this reproduction, and I don't blame them. Most people aren't going to have that. However, if you do want to have the anti-aircraft capabilities, you will have to modify this sight here. Now, moving down to the bipod, it is functional. However, this right here, which is the nut to make the bipod wider or skinnier, that is not functional either. That is just for display. And I haven't seen any videos that have made that functional. However, it is definitely a possibility. Moving down here, of course, since this is a replica, you cannot disassemble it like the real one. You can't screw the buttstock off. You can't open this up and take the barrel out. It is all one solid piece. Let's see here. Coming down to the buttstock, you can see that it is just a smooth rear, unlike the originals, which I can have a picture up here, where you had the lines in it. Again, that's an easy thing. I've seen a lot of people do that with just a simple Dremel. And it also has a machine screw here holding it all together, which is very unfortunate. You can remove that, and I have seen people replace that with an original buttstock screw to get that look of an original. But unfortunately, it is going to be a smooth butt. And for the trigger mechanism here, of course, the safety doesn't work. It's just a solid piece. And the trigger, where ordinarily you have the bottom one, which allows you to do the full auto. And if you pull just the top half of the trigger, it would do the semi. And it does have the molding to make it look like it's two separate pieces. However, it is just one solid piece. There's no second trigger pull. It's all just going to be one trigger pull. And other than that, up here on the receiver, we do have one receiver marking, 1317D. But other than that, there's nothing else. It's just a simple number stamp, and that's going to be present on all examples of this replica. Ordinarily, there'd be a lot of production stamps here as well. There's nothing there on this replica, unfortunately. And let me just get this turned around so we can get a look at the other side of the receiver. All right, now I have it turned around. And on this side over here, you can see the lever here, which would have been used to release the receiver from the barrel shroud so that you can pull the barrel out and switch it out if it gets overheated. Over here, you can see the safety, which, like I said, is non-functioning. And another view on the trigger assembly there. So with all that in mind, that's about it for this video here. It's a pretty quick video. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on this replica machine gun. I'm personally very happy with it for $300, considering what the cost of replica MGs used to be. I feel like this is a very fair deal. I mean, yes, it does have some problems, but you can still attach a original strap to it. With a little bit of modification, you can still put it in its AA form. You can still, with a little modification, open up the top. Overall, it's a really great replica. There's some oversimplifications due to keeping costs down, but with a little bit of time and effort, you can turn this already nice replica into a really great display piece for both reenacting or your artifacts display. So, like I said, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, and when you're in that area, hit the subscription button and notification bell. We have plenty of other videos coming in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!